Hoobity hoo, and how do you do? Welcome to my show. This is Cami Cam of Cami Cam Comics, bringing you comic book making tips and facts and figures and all the things in between. Because comic book making is fun, and we don't have to do it alone. So to begin with, I got asked online by an art mutual who has a kid that want to make a comic, and my own kids want to make a comic. And the big question is, how do we go from idea to a comic? I'm so happy to ask because it's something that it's a step that gets overlooked. And to some, it seems very simple, cut, copy, paste. But there's a deeper insight to it that often gets overlooked. So I posted online, I did some threads and some other bits of social media, and I decided, okay, why not make this a video format? This is a perfect opportunity to even branch into our YouTube Live Comic Book Making Club series. So this is video 1 of Comic Book Making Club, and we're talking about our idea. So an idea is just that. It's what you think would be great for a comic. You have several different types of ideas that you can choose. An alien from another planet coming to live on Earth and is now Earth's chosen savior. Some sewer mutants who love pizza and fighting crime. How about 3 little girls created from science who save a town doomed with peril? Okay? Or a stay-at-home mom of 3 boys where it's 3 versus 1 every day on site. Lots of ideas just happen. They happen from our own experiences. They happen from things we've seen. They happen to things of the what ifs. And that's where all comics and great stories come from. They come from an idea. So once you already have your idea, it's turning it into the comic. That's the hard part. Ideas will come all the time. So getting into comic ideas is a big, important part of the process because it tells the story. For me, so I'm gonna stop rambling and bring it into focus on how I and you can turn your idea from an idea to a working comic. One thing I love to do is I take my character and I become them. I live them in their everyday, day-to-day life, and I go through the steps of just what's a typical day look like for them. So with my comic Snack Time, I wrote things that I know to be true. And that's an advice I was told long ago as a kid when I first started writing. Write what you know. And I'm pretty sure you've heard that advice everywhere if you are jumping into your writing journey, because it's true. Write what you know. And so I have been a stay-at-home mom, and I do have 3 sons. And so that's what I wrote about. And I wrote about my typical day and challenges I faced and problems I overcame. And just things that I found funny and humorous and just keeping it light. And I wrote all of this down. And that's when it started to formulate into a story and the character and who they are and what about them. And as I write down each and every detail, that becomes the story. And then maybe have something more specific, more serial style or sequential. It's taking that character and putting them into the story. So take Superman, for example. We take all that we know about Superman, his background, his upbringing, how he grows up in Smallville, to him getting a job at Daily Planet, becoming superhero, all the drama, Lex Luthor being his arch rival. All of these details are stories within our comic. So the easiest way I can say to do this, a really simple method. Number 1, you're gonna brain dump. Every idea you have about your idea that's gonna become your comic, write it down. Character, lore, fantasy, fiction, things that they like, things that they don't like. And once you have all of these ideas about the character and their story you want to tell, then you can go back, look at all of these parts of your idea and find out what's the main idea. What story are you really trying to tell? So for the current comic I'm working on, title still pending, but right now it's called Pug and Cat. I wanted to tell a story of two unlikely friends becoming friends. And we've all seen these kind of stories before, but I wanted to really focus in on how to make my story stand out. And so for me, I wrote out all the details, I wrote the outline, I started from the beginning and the middle and the end, and I figured out that it's not about just two unlikely pairs becoming friends. It's a story of finding friends. A person who doesn't know they need a friend and they get a friend, and a person who's looking for a true friend. And them being opposites just happens to be an added detail to the story. So I've got my outline completed. I'm getting ready to jump into script writing, but that's another video for another time. So my advice, take your idea and write all the connecting ideas to it. Everything you can think of, write it out. Then next, organize those ideas into your outline. Start at the beginning of the story you want to tell and follow through until you get to that final resolution. How it ends or how the story continues on. So let me just backtrack, make sure I got you. So we're on the same page. We start with our idea. We pretend to be the character, that main character in our idea. If your character is a spoon in a cupboard that has been forgotten by time, be the spoon and write everything that happens to the spoon. That's the brain dump. Now we got to clean up the dump. Okay, we're picking the parts that are important to the story that we want to tell, and the parts are like, okay, this is lore, this goes on an outside detail. And together it'll all formulate into this beautiful outline. And then you're keeping your outline short, simple, and sweet. Again, another video for another time. Then you write your script, and that's when you start drawing. And that's it. It's not hard. That's my method. I go from the idea, being the character, and writing the outline. I feel like I'm repeating myself, so I'm just going to stop here. Thank you for watching. I hope that this helps you with your comic book making journey. Comic Book Making Club meets Mondays, 9 p.m. right here on YouTube Live. Please make sure to like, our hearts, comment, and subscribe. My big question of the day or the week is, what is the first comic book you read? And how did that change your life? So, stay tuned, stay blessed. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.